There we go. It's Tempoh and Ejby versus Force and Nuggets. That's right. El Único is Nuggets. As the English face the Danes yet again. The Danish squad has only lost to the current grand finalists, Toxic and Revzy. Maybe the seeding for them wasn't so great because I think I have Tempoh and Ejby as the favorites here, even though everybody playing on the blue team in these Start GG tournaments are theoretically the underdogs. I'm not sure I've got this squad as underdogs the way they've been playing. Ejby on point, Tempoh still mechy even in the Fennec. That's right. If this is your first Tempoh game you've watched in a while, he's no longer a Fennec and he's no longer cool because he doesn't wear his backwards hat. Therefore, he's just another guy. He's just a chill guy now instead of being cool. ET was seed 1. Nugget and Force were seed 14. Okay, that's interesting to know. But that could mean that Toxic and Revzy had a bad seed. And should not have been facing, you know, the first seed. Or listen, it's all because of their own ranks. The seeding is probably just fine. It really has to do with how much they've grinded their twos versus how good of a team they actually are in practice, in tournaments. It is good to know that Ejby and Tempoh did make sure their seeding was as good as possible here for this tournament. And I expect to see them back in the grand finals, barring a nice performance here from Nugget and Force. Who was seed 1,439, John? Did 1,439 teams sign up? That seems a bit high. Nugget's gonna be the first to score though. 2 minutes in, just 2 seconds over 2 minutes in. As Force gets a big 50 win and is able to use his remaining momentum, not any boost, in order to set up Nuggets. Ooh, there's 1,353 teams that signed up. Well, at least according to teams. Apparently only 1,100 teams maybe actually made it in at the end of the day. Nugget gonna make it 2-0. A little bit of Forceful reset and then bump play as Tempoh gets launched up. Tempoh is just forced to beat Tempoh. Oh my goodness, Force. I was about to absolutely pop off if you managed to not get double jump bumped by a 1v1 great. This is not a situation many defenders can make it out of, and he almost did, but does end up doubling it in himself. Force trying to pop off here in this matchup, show why they made it all the way to the grand finals. Both these teams have only lost to the grand finalists, so this is the best possible way to separate who should be second, or maybe who could end up being first if they can clutch up in the grand finals. We saw a bracket reset in the MENA Cash Cup yesterday. Why is El Único Nuggets? Is a similar question to why is Zato Belgian. Oh my god, wait, was that actually a 1 trillion IQ save by Nuggets to put the ball off of the post in a really tough to read position that then allows the other team to miss? It did seem like he maybe tried to do that. And it definitely was a great save in retrospect, at the very least. Tempoh. Ooh, nice shot. Ooh, didn't quite go in. But there was not a lot of angle. It was cut off by defenders. So So the only way Ejby was going to score was like a slow lob chip to that opposite top corner, and he almost found a way to get it there. Tempoh, my goodness. The flat car is gone, the mechs are not. Ejby set up off the sidewall. Tempoh with a full boost tank goes to work. And a clean double to crossbar down and in. Has the Danish squad in the lead. Forceful. Trying to pass to himself off the ceiling. Ejby sends one out to the midfield. Tempoh couldn't make anything happen. That's actually a pretty important bump there, as Nuqqet was getting bumped on the back line. Could have been stuck all alone, although with 30 seconds left to go, the English team really need a goal, and it's a nice fake from Ejby. We'll have to see from his POV if we decide it was intentional or not, or if he was just... It does flip so far away from the nets, or far away from the ball, and maybe could have gone diagonal to try and get a little bit closer. So I think it may have just been that fake. 2-goal lead. Ejby pre-flip save, as we were stuck on his POV for a second. What is it? Is this just auto cam without the overlay? Or director cam without the overlay, I should say. Back pass. That'll do it. Game 1 to Tempoh Ejby. Trying to back up their #1 seeding. They have an early lead. Game number 2. Tempoh and Ejby versus Nuqqet and Vorse. Tempoh trying to pop off on the initial possession. Tempoh pre-flip, pretty impressive to put a strong shot on target there. He will get free rotated back after using all his boost. Not sure he necessarily minds. Ejby flick past 1, can't get the seconds. Nice dunk. Wow, I thought for a second there was maybe going to be a save as a way of redeeming this poor play in the corner, but Tempoh, I mean, he was getting all the way around the ball in a way that made it seem like he was hoping to chip it out past the defender and not go for a 50, but it gets dunked. And it's 1-0 for the English squad. Sandwich is a square. Yeah, but what about like hoagies? Ooh. Nice outplay by Tempoh. Set up off his own back wall too. Not quite an air dribble all by himself. Nuqqet did his best to backflip in order to recorrect, to try and stop that air dribble, but just barely couldn't touch it. A hoagie's a hoagie, that's why there's a different word for it. Oh, is that like a sub? Yeah. Are subs also? I don't know, dude. Doesn't matter. I can't even get into it, dude. Call it a sandwich or not. I don't know, man. Does it ever bother you guys that people will be like, let's use this for example, Tempoh and Ejby. Nice air dribble reset. But imagine a world in which we're at LAN, Tempoh and Ejby are there. I'm chatting with them. I'm standing in the middle. You know what people will say all the time? They'll be like, hey, it's a Danish sandwich. They don't mean that. I'm sorry, but when you see 2 pieces of bread and meat in the middle, do you go, it's a bread sandwich. No. No. No one ever says that. It's always whatever is in the middle. Anyways. Just wait. That moment will happen to you. Where two of the same things will be, you know, on the top and bottom of another, and they're going to say it's essentially a bread sandwich. And you'll think to yourself, that's not correct. When did Turtle take over the stream? You just wait. You guys think it's silly until the moment in which you hear it said in person again, and you're going, oh well, it's not. I mean, it's not technically a Danish sandwich. The situation you just described, that would be a Feer sandwich because Feer is in the middle. Tempoh and Ejby up 5-1, by the way. Nice passing play. A bread sandwich is two pieces of bread with bread in between. Exactly. Didn't KFC do a chicken sandwich like this? Where two pieces of chicken were the bread? Go-to sandwich at a shop? I don't know. It kind of depends on the shop, right? I kind of like... Whoa! That was a cool spectator bug. I kind of like buffalo chicken sandwiches, so I'll often look for those. I like Italian, like... Oof. Oh my goodness, Tempoh. I think this does have orange trail, so I believe it got finished off by someone on the orange team. But this still feels... Yeah, that's the last time Tempoh touched it. So it is... it is an own goal finish. But still. Kickoff... Oh, no kickoff goal. For the Englishmen. They needed it too. 50 is in... Oh! Force decided to keep playing. You can see he tilted. And then saw that that ball was not in. So relatable. I have done that many times. Credit to him for only doing it after being down 6-1. Tempoh. Oof. Not going to make it 7-1. The new game is to not get Braziled. When are we getting Nico 1v1s? Has Nico been grinding any in ones ranked? I know he's been playing in some tournaments here and there. We've had him. I think we've had him in matches. He's looked entertaining for sure. A minute and 11 left to go. And the only question left to be answered in this game is what is and isn't a sandwich. What is this decal Nuggets rocking? It looks like, it reminds me of like a wrestler. What are those wrestlers who wear the masks? What are they called? Is that what it's actually supposed to be themed? Luchadors, thank you. Chupacabra, I don't think that's right. I think Luchadors is more right. They're all just called Rey Mysterio. Last second, 0 second. Brazil, doesn't happen. Game 3. Tempoh Ejby versus Nuqqet Force. Or it could be Zen Zen versus Zen Zen. It's really impossible to know. Zen could be changing his name. If Zen wasn't named something cool like Zen, would he have been any less popular? Let's imagine that Zen was named Zombie Poop Shark. Nice infield passing play from Ejby to Tempoh. Is the hype exactly the same? I guess everyone would just call him ZPS, but wouldn't matter. It would be hyper. The hype would be more. What happened to Zombie Poop Shark? I'm not sure. What's another silly name? You can't suggest Zen having a bad name. It's a good thing his parents named him Zen. I know. Squishy Muffins? Yeah, but Squishy... I mean, nobody called him full Squishy Muffins. The Squishy is slightly better. It feels like nicknames would just pop out no matter what. From a name that's too long. Wasn't there a whiskey drink? Yeah, he had to change his name. Isn't that Pisky now? Ejby and Tempoh doing some good team play. Ejby up the sidewall, off the ceiling, straight down to Mr. Tempoh. Went to APAC. Does he still play in APAC though? All right, they're blowing him out. Pisky was just his nickname that ended up sticking. Ah. Violent Panda doesn't sound that cool, but you can shorten it to Panda, and that's not bad. I think the reality is if he had some crazy name, he'd probably get a nickname, is what we're telling ourselves right now. Panda is bad? I disagree. Zen is a pretty cool name. I like Zen as a name though. Zapatos is a cool name. I was walking in Target yesterday and I saw the Zapatos style and I thought, oh, I'll use that. Made me think of Mr. Alex. Simple is a corny odd name, but everyone shows it respect. Simple is a cool name. Joria's best name? Yeah, Joria's is a pretty good name. First Killer is for sure at least a little bit corny. It helps that he's really, really, really good. But you gotta remember, most of us are making our names when we're like 13, dude. First Killer's been around since forever. And then you build up momentum and it's like, well, sure, I'm older now, but I gotta still be First Killer. First Killer is also, I mean, once a name has been around long enough, it's completely loses any of its like previous notion. Like maybe if someone brand new player was like, I'm First Killer, I'd be like, okay, that's pretty edgy. But now it's like, it's completely just a name. Ooh, nice. Redirect. Doesn't even register like that at all anymore. Beast mode before hitting Diamond 1. Yeah, beast mode before he became one of the best players ever is also one. Joyo stole his name from Froyo. Joyo's a cool name. But also his name is Joe Young, I'm pretty sure. Not to dox him, but I'm pretty sure that's where he got his name from. Prime Thunder is a waste. That was a cool name. Forrest with a kickoff goal to try and keep his English squad relevant here in what seems like it's going to be a sweep. Not to dox him. If I read off any information that exists on Wikipedia, I don't feel too bad. Yo, Puppy Puncher, thank you for the 19 months prime. You know what I've thought is interesting? Is like most people's names, when they have gamer names, like they get out pretty easily. For example, Joyo or any other Rocket League player or even streamer. But there's one person that I watch on stream who I have no idea what their real name is at all. And it seems like they don't use their real name anywhere and has somehow managed to hide it. And that is Squeaks. Does anybody know his real name? Soda Poppin'? No, his name is Chance. They say that all the time. Apparently Jack. Bro trying to dox? I mean, not trying to dox. It's just interesting to not be able to know anyone's name. Squeaks' real name is Zen? Wait a second. He's apparently Jack. We're not certain. Why do so many media players have weird mix of letters and numbers? Is it a difference in alphabets? Basically, yeah. It's them trying to match Arabic characters with the English alphabet. So a lot of the numbers look close to Arabic symbols. The interesting thing about speaking in Arabic through English characters is I thought there would of course be some limitations. I thought to myself, oh, surely you can only say so much because you don't have all the characters. But Arabic speakers tell me that no, they can basically just fully speak in English characters, which is surprising to me. Is it like kind of like a slightly different language? It's Arabizi or Arabish. Is it like a... GG's! It's a sweep. Tempoh Ejby head to the grand finals with ease. And they have matching player types. I didn't even realize that till just now.